All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started here, guys. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna go through. This is essentially a new presentation around EXP, an introduction, if you will, to EXP Realty. I'll be your host. My name is Jay Kinder, and before we get into the excitement of EXP and everything that you're here to probably learn and learn about, I just want to give you a real brief history about who I am and how I got here and how I got involved with the company. And so I've been in real estate now 20 years. I started the first 11 years of my career was spent at Coldwell Banker, and that's my dad's company. I'm actually in my hometown today. I live in Dallas, Texas today. And my real estate business was in Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm actually sitting in the office of a 10,000 square foot building that I used to have that was this real estate company that I basically was just an agent at Coldwell Banker. And for the first several years, I only sold a handful of homes and 20, 30 homes, and built that up to be quite successful. Ended up being number 2 in the world for Coldwell Banker, and sold a whole lot of houses. Went independent in 2011. Maintained being in the top 50 in the world for the Wall Street Journal for several years. Opened a company coaching and consulting agents around the country. We were very well known for helping agents become the number 1 agent in their marketplace and helping them become dominant in a geographic area. And so we started coaching and training agents. We got into technology. We got into founding an association called the National Association of Expert Advisors, which is maybe where you heard of us. At least at some point, I'm sure we've come across your inbox. And from there, we became just very passionate about helping real estate agents. And, if you've ever found yourself asking the question or saying, man, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. We say that every day. I've said that every day since I got into business. There's just got to be a better way to do this. And today I'm going to share with you what I feel like is the best way that's ever been created. And really a great opportunity for anybody who's in real estate, whether you're an independent broker owner, a team or a mega team or an expansion team or just an individual agent or a new agent. Really why this company is changing the industry and how it's really become the perfect home for most anybody that's interested in growing and being successful in real estate. The latter part of the last probably 5 years, my business partner and I, and this is really interesting because I certainly wouldn't say that I was interested in looking at another company or moving anywhere. I was an independent company, and me and my business partner Michael Reese had started a real estate brokerage in Dallas from scratch in 2014. Within the first year, we didn't really focus on it. The second year, we built it to 272 transactions and a little over, I think it was 2.3 or 2.4 million dollars, something like that, in gross commission income. And we were expanding into Atlanta, and we were looking to grow this company around the country. And a good friend of mine, Al Stasic, who many of you may know, was one of our top clients, a guy that had built a huge business and book of business in Cleveland, Ohio. And he was independent. We'd actually helped him go independent because at a certain point, it makes sense not to pay a franchise fees or royalties that never go away to companies. And many of our coaching clients' lives, that's been the case, that you get to a certain point, you're paying too much money to a brokerage. It's time to go independent and open your own company, which is what we had done and we had helped Al do. But Al had kind of broken the news to me that he was going to be joining this company called EXP. And I reluctantly got on the phone with him because he asked me to poke holes in it. And I was happy to try to poke holes in it because I didn't really think it was a good decision at the time because I didn't understand the business at all. And I hadn't spent the time and invested the time that you're investing here to learn about the business model and how it was so much more superior and added so much value to the agents, whether it's your agents in your company or it's just, any agent in the industry. So that's kind of what we're going to go over. That's just a little bit about me. And I want to tell you a little bit about the person that founded this company because he's one of the most impressive people that I've ever met. And his name is Glenn Sanford, and he's the one that started the company and several years ago. And we've seen explosive growth. You've probably seen there's the buzz that's going around about EXP. We were recently just accepted to NASDAQ. We were an over-the-counter publicly traded company. Now we're being traded on NASDAQ, which is an amazing accomplishment. Since I've been in the company now 6 months, the company has doubled in agent count. It was at just under 5,000 agents when I joined. They're at 10,000 agents now. They're in 47 states. Including 2 Canadian provinces, with goals of being an international, a global company. We're not stopping at United States and Canada. We're going to grow this company to be across the world, and new markets are going to open up as this company continues to grow, because this is a business model that is truly scalable for real estate and creates a ton of opportunity for anyone who wants to be a part of this great journey with us. So Glenn Sanford is really one of the most amazing people I've ever met. He's probably one of the smartest people I've ever met, because he, as a CEO or as a founder, you look for people that can see around the corners, and they understand what's going on in the market, and they see opportunity, but they see way past what that opportunity is. And I think that's what Glenn saw back in 2007 through 2009. Glenn was actually at Keller Williams. He had multiple teams across the country, and he was watching what was happening with Keller Williams was the struggle of having all of these offices and overhead. Many of the offices weren't profitable. They weren't making money. It was causing a lot of challenges in growth, and challenges in being able to invest in lead generation, as that was becoming one of the most important things at the time, was growing through lead generation. And Glenn was an expert at lead generation, and that was how he was able to scale his business. But what he recognized was that the future was not going to be in having these huge brick and mortar offices. The office that I'm standing in here today was my real estate office. It cost me over $12,000 a month to operate this office, between the taxes and the insurance and the renovations that were continuously happening in this particular building, and all of the the utilities, all the desks, all of the and as I walk through it, it's walking through the office today. It's kind of like a walking through a foreclosure, because we don't use this much real estate space. We don't need an office that's 8,000 or 10,000 square feet, but we had all this space, and we're paying for all this, and it was just a huge hanging over your head as a broker owner, or as EXP as one brokerage. If you have that all across the country, you have hundreds of millions of dollars literally being invested into real estate. And what Glenn recognized was, I could grow this much faster if I didn't have to open this office in every single market that I go into and have all this overhead. And so, the best way to probably explain the cloud brokerage is to go and look at other examples that have been very disruptive, that you could probably, easily identify with. So we could look at Netflix, for example. We know, everyone was used to going to, rent their videos from the video store. Blockbuster was the 800-pound gorilla. They literally had 6 billion market cap is the valuation of that company. They ultimately went bankrupt within a few years of Netflix showing up on the scene. Again, Netflix being a cloud-based streaming where you could stream music from. Ultimately, it's now streaming. They took over because they were a better way to do business. There was no need for you to have to go into the store to pick out your movies to rent, things like that. Netflix took over, cloud-based company takes over. The same thing happened. If you look at iTunes comes along, all the record stores are closed. Amazon comes along, the bookstores all close. When you find a way to really become more efficient through the cloud and deliver a ton more value, and then you reinvest that money back into improving the business model, adding more value to the agents, then you really have a model that's super disruptive, and it tends to take off on its own. You didn't see Amazon have to run a whole bunch of ads everywhere to try to get people to use the service. It was just a better way. And what we're seeing with EXP is the same thing. It is just a better way to transact real estate. It's a better way to be a brokerage in the cloud. And we'll talk more about what that means here as we continue on this presentation. So in a cloud-based environment, what's that like? So first of all, there's no desk fees. So you can work from anywhere. I can work from here. I can go into my cloud-based campus. It's a campus just like any other college campus you might find, with different buildings that you can go into and ask questions. There's a technology office. I'll show you all that here in a second. But you cut all that overhead, all that cost that's involved with that. And what Glenn was so brilliant in doing was he reinvested that money back into two things. He reinvested that money back into the technology and the training. And then the third thing, I guess, if you will, it was he reinvested that back in the revenue share program, which we'll talk about later. I'm going to save that for last, because that's one of the really most interesting, and a lot of times it's the most exciting part of the whole business model for a lot of people. So I'm going to share that with you last. So there's no expensive leases or anything like that. So that means that, the company is now investing all this money back into the tools and stuff that we as real estate agents had to go buy on our own, generally spending thousands of dollars on. And it's paperless transactions, of course, and you can get, instant access to training and support. And this is where I'm going to blow your mind. So my entire career, if you look behind me on the wall, I don't know if you can even see me. I can see me, but I don't know if you can see me or not. But if you look behind, my son, he's 20 years old. He just got into the real estate business. And, I told him, I said, Braden, when I got into real estate, I can tell you the one thing that made me successful was my willingness to invest into training, invest in myself and growing and being the person that's trying to be a student to learn as much as I could. That was what made me successful. That was what I was always hungry for, was more training. And I would fly around the country and I would spend literally thousands and thousands of dollars going to an event, staying in hotels, away from my family, all of those things that you have to do to go to these events to learn and get good training. EXP has so much training, and it's unbelievable. It's one of the things that excites me the most. And it's not just the training by the company. I'm talking some of the top real estate agents in the world that have joined EXP. People like Kyle Whissel, 200+ million producer in San Diego, has joined. Daniel Beer, 150+ million producer, also in San Diego, has joined. Curtis Johnson, my great friend who sold, I don't even know, 5,000+ homes in Arizona, he has joined. Some of the top agents around the country, Andrew Gaydosh, Mike Wall, some of the who's who in real estate have all started joining EXP, and I'll talk more about why they've done that. But now you have access not just to collaborate with all these top agents in the world who all have a vested interest in this, because this is an agent-owned cloud brokerage. I'm going to talk about what agent-owned means. It means you have a way to have ownership in this company. But we all have ownership in the company. As long as you sell one house a year, we all are owners in this company, and we all have a vested interest for the company to do well. That creates the kind of culture and environment where everyone gives back. Everybody wants everyone to succeed, and it's such an amazing culture. I couldn't believe it, because I was like, well, how do you build a culture around something that's in the cloud? And I was absolutely wrong. The most impressive thing about this company is the culture that they've created of givers and people that want to help people grow. If you want to be successful, it's not just you're not alone. You're not, this is not a business you're doing alone. You're going to be doing it together with us. We're going to help you. And that's really a cool, it's just a cool culture to be a part of, to be honest with you. So the training is many hours. I've seen as many as 15, 20, sometimes more than that hours of training in a week. Sometimes it's as many as 15 hours in a day. I've seen in terms of training that you can go to anytime in the cloud. These are also recorded. You can watch them later. And this isn't just basic vanilla training. And these are some of the top people that are doing it in the real estate industry, people that have great track records of success, sharing best practices, what's working today. And it's nothing like you've ever seen before. And I got to tell you, that is one of the most important things. And if I could tell you one thing that I could tell you, you can't go fly all around the country. I can show you. I have a stack, and I kid you not, my stack of room keys, I could probably stack it probably at least up to mid-waist. The room keys that I have from going around the country, staying in hotel rooms, and trying to learn and grow and get better. And none of the costs and expenses that I had to go through to grow, you have to do when you're a part of EXP. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go fly around the country and learn. You should always go learn where you can go learn. But it's an incredible opportunity to have all this training at your fingertips, at archive, where you can go watch it and listen to those trainings afterwards on the weekend, at night, before you go to sleep, in the morning, get up early, whatever you want at your fingertips, you have access to it. So here's the cloud. Take a look at the community. Yeah, sure. It's, you have an avatar. At first it's kind of weird. Maybe for you millennials, it's not, but for us older folks, it's a little bit different. But once you figure out how to walk around and you get that, that figured out, you can go in and get real-time support on anything. Pretty much most times of the day. I can't remember the exact hours, but I think it goes till 7 o'clock Pacific time or something like that, which for me in Central Time Zone is more than enough time in the day for me to get any questions answered that I have. There's specialized departments that you can go to. You can have large scale meetings. We have huge trainings that we do. We have an entire leadership meeting every Friday. It's at 10 o'clock Central. I highly recommend that you download the app to the cloud and go in and watch the leadership team, the most amazing people that I've ever been in business with. I'm so fortunate to be a part of this and see how this company is growing and the leadership team and how they work together to solve problems. It's just an amazing opportunity. They're very transparent, sharing with you what's going on, what's working, what things they're trying to make better. It's just an incredible opportunity. And, obviously there's the daily training, so you can come into that, information sharing. You can team collaboration. If you have an office now and you want to bring everybody into the cloud and have your office huddles, you can do that in the cloud. We've done our strategic planning meetings in the cloud and reserved a room. They've got boats you can get on. There's a pirate ship you can have a meeting on. It's pretty wild. I'll be honest with you. It is the future. There's no question about it. No one's going to have to drive across town, and the traffic I used to have to drive in for 30, 45 minutes to get to the office to go to work. You can get up, go to work, do it from your back porch. You can do all the same work that you do in real estate anywhere. You don't have to be in a real estate office when the real estate office is with you in your pocket on your phone, or your real estate office is right there on your laptop. You can get anything, any information you want anytime. So CRM and lead generation, this is another huge thing. Of all the agents that I've coached over the years, and I've coached a bunch of them, if you're the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 agent in the marketplace, or if you were to look at who was the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 agent in your marketplace, I almost guarantee you, I either know that agent, personally coached them, or at least know who coached them, because I guarantee they had a coach at some point. And I would say the one thing that you'll find amongst all these people, there's several things that you'll find in terms of successful people, but one of the things that you'll always find is they have a lead generation system and a CRM. And it's one of the things that really propels that business to grow to the biggest, the biggest that you can grow it. And at every single point that I've ever worked with an agent, there's a time to buy this technology. And for us, we spent thousands of dollars on these types of technology. When you join EXP, you get KW Core and a sync platform at no additional cost. There's a $50 a month technology fee. There's a bunch more technology that you get that I'm going to go over here in a second. That, again, they took all that money in bricks and mortar they're not spending, and they're reinvesting it back into the technology, the training, and ultimately the revenue share opportunity that we'll get to there at the end, here at the end of this presentation. So when it comes to the lead generation tools, these are best in class. Now, there's several tools that are out there, but you would have to go spend $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000 a month for these tools, $1,000 down to get started. There's always somebody trying to sell you something in real estate. And that's one of the things that always drives me crazy, is because I don't really know what to buy. I don't know if this is better than that. Or, these guys everybody are getting better at marketing, and I used to buy everything. So I could probably show you downstairs in the closet, man. I got stacks of stuff that I bought over the years. I'll buy anything to try to grow my business. But here at EXP, you don't have to do that. You have the top people in the industry that are going to help you with growing your business. You have all the training you need. You have all the technology you need, so you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money. Now, in terms of lead generation, these are your basics, your sites where you have an IDX feed and you can have home searches and, all the tools that you need to be successful in terms of your CRM platform and the follow-up system and all of that. But you would drive traffic to it. And there's a system that they do that's an optional lead generation program that if you want to invest in to get more leads, that's going to be up to you if that's what you want to do. Obviously, we believe in lead generation, and hopefully you do too. But if you don't have to buy all this stuff, you can put more money into the actual lead traffic generation and generating leads. So this is a huge savings. So what I've found is that a lot of agents, whether an agent on a team or they're an agent in an office that is spending, they're either, oh man, I can't afford $1,000 a month, or they're in a situation where they're paying for something like that. Moving to EXP saves them a tremendous amount of money, sometimes as much as $15,000, $20,000 a year. That's a lot of money to put back in your pocket, or a lot of money to give you a competitive advantage to spend in marketing. That's money that you may have already been spending. You don't have to spend. Now you can spend that on client acquisition or taking care of your customers better, getting more referrals. There's so much more you can do to grow your business. So it gives you a huge advantage over the competition by having these tools available to you at only $50 a month, right? So Exp Solutions. So this is just an example of some of the solutions that they provide. It's not just technology; it's an overall suite, a system of solutions for your entire real estate business. And let me tell you something, folks. You guys are in business. This is not a job. You have a business. And if you didn't know it by now, which you probably do, is there's a lot going on. You got to be the transaction manager. You've got to manage. You got to be the CFO of your business. You've got to be, you've got to be the marketer, and you've got to be the technology person. You've got to do all of these roles and go sell real estate. So what EXP has done is they've created a whole suite of solutions to help you with that. EXP Enterprise is the business intelligence side. You can go in and see your business at a glance. You can see exactly where you're at and what closings you have coming, and what does your deal flow look like for the year. And that's like basically your CFO is the EXP Enterprise. You can also see your stock awards, which I'm going to talk about, how you can earn ownership stock awards in the company, which is a phenomenal opportunity for anybody that it wants to be an owner of something. This is something of real value and provides a tangible exit strategy potentially for many of us that plan on retiring in the next 5, 10, 15, 100 years. I think most people in real estate end up working till they're dead. It seems like that's how it's always been in the offices that I've been in. But if you really want to have something of value, there's ways to earn stock, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So, SkySlope, which is transaction management's world-class, one of the top, probably the top, if it's not number one, it's probably the number two most used transaction management system for managing the entire transaction, all the way down to the closing. And if, as long as you have all of your file turned in at closing, you get paid at closing. So one of the benefits of EXP is, when you get to the closing table, you're going to get paid. You don't have to wait for that check to circulate to the big brokerage, and then, they do all their stuff and then send it back. So as long as you turn your files in, get everything done, ready and prepared for closing, you're going to get a check at the table, which is an awesome thing that sometimes companies don't do. Workplace by Facebook. You want to talk about again, this entire company is up in the cloud-based. The only way that they communicate is through being online. You get a workplace app by Facebook, which is incredible. There's groups, every kind of specialty. Maybe you want to focus on, you ever thought about going after listings? I was just looking at this today, as a matter of fact, going after estate sales. Maybe there's a group you can join where there's nothing but agents that are doing that. You can join that group within Facebook. And these are agents you get to collaborate with across the world, all across the country, that are being successful. And when you have a question, this is the biggest misconception I have seen about EXP is, well, who am I going to go to when I have a question or a problem? You have more access to more people and quicker answers at EXP than any company that there is in existence in real estate. All you got to do, boom, jump onto your app, and on Facebook Workplace, I can jump right in there, and I could show you probably. I don't know how to do that on this individual in particular, but let me see if I can do it for you. So again, this is just my little Workplace app. Boom, jump on there. And I'm literally going to be in the cloud. I can ask a question. I can jump to a different group. Hey, what's going on with, how do I need to, set this up if I'm wanting to, get this closing closed or whatever you're trying to do. You can jump in, ask questions. People will answer questions. If you're having a problem with your technology, you can go in there. A lot of times people just answer, hey, no, go to this and click this button. That'll solve it. So a lot of easy ways for you to get answers, which is very cool. And that's an app you get. I love Workplace by Facebook. It's a game changer. No, hands down. If I'd have had that, I would never spend all this money on this stupid office. Branding and marketing, more tools than you can imagine, beautiful branded tools, branding and everything you need to grow your business. Anything you can think of you might want to spend money on, they've already thought of it. They've got it. So they've got you covered there. So now we're down to the last two parts of this presentation that I get really excited about. Powerful agent ownership. One of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I've really never seen this done in a real estate company before. And you can become an owner at EXP, and it's a publicly traded company. You can go online right now and look at EXPI. That's the ticker symbol. They just recently were accepted to the NASDAQ. So you will find that on the NASDAQ in the near future, I'm sure. And there's ways for you to earn equity awards in the company. And for instance, you get 50 shares of stock on your first transaction. That is a stock award. It vests in 3 years, which makes it a great retention tool. If you have agents or you're a team or you're an independent and you want to keep agents, this stock is a good way for them to stay around. I wouldn't leave a bunch of money. So I'm not planning on leaving EXP and leaving a bunch of money on the table. And I imagine you wouldn't be either. So it's a great retention tool. You also have the ability to get 100 shares of stock when you fully cap. The cap at EXP, so this is the commission structure. The cap at EXP is $16,000. So that's they capture that on an 80-20 split. So essentially, if you were, for easy math, if your average commission was $10,000, you would have to close 8 transactions, and then you would be fully capped, and it would be 100% commission for the rest of your anniversary year. That's basically how it works. So they take 20% of your commission until you get to the 16,000. You're fully capped. You're going to get 100 shares of stock at that time once you fully cap. You're also going to get 100 shares when you sponsor an agent that closes their first transaction. And here's what I can tell you happens. Most everybody says, yeah, I'm not going to recruit. That's not for me. And then they get their first 50 shares of stock when they close that first transaction. And they immediately get excited about the company, and they go tell all their friends at all the other companies that they've ever worked at, or anybody that they're doing a deal with. And they're like, I got this stock just for closing a deal. My first deal, I got 50 shares stock, and you're excited about the company. And that's how this company is growing so fast. It's not because a bunch of people are out there recruiting. That's not it. People are genuinely excited about being at EXP and about being a part of a company that they're an owner in. They have stock in the company, and that's exciting. So, and you go tell a couple of your friends. We're going to talk about how that results in also revenue share for you when you tell your friends and they come join you at EXP. But that's a great opportunity. So if you bring someone in the company, there's another 100 shares of stock, go look at the stock. Go look at the history of the stock. You can decide for yourself if it's worth anything or not. Stocks go up, stocks go down. I can't predict the future, but all I know is I'm excited about it. I think, for most people, I think it's one of the most exciting things about the company, because we're going to continue to grow this company, and hopefully, we'll see what the stock does. I can't predict it. You can't either, but I think it's a good thing, and I think I'm really happy to be a part of it. So, Icon Agent Program. Another great opportunity. So up to 16,000 stock, the stock that you paid that 16,000 in, you can get all of that back in the form of stock once you become an Icon agent. How you become an Icon agent? Once you cap, you have to pay in $250 per transaction, up to $5,000. Once you've paid that, then you would become an Icon agent. There are a couple of cultural things that come along with that to become approved. And if approved, you're going to get your 16,000 back in the form of stock in the company. Very exciting. So essentially, what a great place to be invested in the company and to become a bigger owner. The more you produce, and that's why EXP is attracting a tremendous number of producing agents from all across the country. The top agents are joining left and right because why? It doesn't cost them anything. They become an owner ultimately, and of course, there's 16,000 cash that came out of their business, but it went into the stock in the company. And if you're a believer in what this company is doing, you believe that's a good investment, you would make it anyways. And so what a great opportunity. Essentially, it's like working here for free and not having to pay them anything. So agent equity program, I want to talk about this. I think this is great. Of all the years and all the real estate that I've ever sold, the thing that I always was asking myself was, man, how can I add more value to my agents? How do I add more value to my agents? And even though, and this is why as an independent company who wasn't interested in joining any EXP or any other kind of brokerage of any kind, became aware and obviously ecstatic now about this opportunity with EXP, is they've created ways to add more value to the agents. And when you create more value for all the agents stay. And for me as an independent brokerage owner, the biggest challenge I always had was recruiting agents and retention. And what does every agent want? They want as much of the money as they can get, and they want opportunity. That's the two things you want as an agent for the most part. And you want support and training and technology and all of those things too, right? So, if you get all of that and you get the most amount of money you can earn, then you're going to be pretty happy with the brokerage you're at. You're probably not going to leave. And one of the benefits that they put in place that was really just exciting to me was, you can actually take 5% of your commissions and put that towards every transaction that you close. 5% of it can go towards stock in the company. And you get that at a 20% discount, and that is vested immediately. The rest of the stock you get that are in awards, they vest over 3 years, which is obviously a smart way for them to retain agents, for us to retain agents. And this 20% discount, you instantly get that when you buy the stock, and you can sell that if you wanted to tomorrow. So that's a pretty cool opportunity as well. And obviously at a discount like that, why wouldn't you do it? So just another way, again, in my mind, most of the agents that I've ever worked with, and you can vet this for yourself or not, you either have done a really good job of setting yourself up for success in retirement, or you're still working on it. And I think most of us as agents would say, man, yeah, we're still working on that. And that's the truth, right? So when you're facing truth, whether you're a broker owner or just an agent and you're really happy where you're at, you got to ask the question, am I getting closer to my goals, or am I not getting closer to my goals? And if you're not getting closer to your goals, then let's be open to opportunity and say, okay, where would I be better off? And where would I be better hanging my license? And that's, again, one of the reasons why EXP is growing so fast, is because people that are seeking truth and they're just trying to put themselves in a better financial position are seeing the opportunity that this company has brought to the table that never existed before. Now, real quickly, I'm going to try to go through the revenue share opportunity, and I'm happy to spend more time on this. If you want to ask me more questions, I'm happy to get on the phone or show you more examples of what it can do. So I'm going to try to keep this simple. Essentially, this is very similar. And if you look at the largest company in the U.S. today is Keller Williams. They broke ground with a revolutionary 7 levels of profit share, 7 generations. You could earn up to 7 levels deep. If that person who brings the person who brings the person, 7 levels. You could earn profit share. What Glenn did was he basically mimicked the same revenue share. He made it a lot better on the front end. So your first 2 levels are actually what a lot of people would tell you that are experts will tell you that are pretty aggressive in terms of how much money you can make on your first 2 levels. It's a pretty aggressive schedule in terms of this type of a model. And it's revenue share, not profit share. Revenue share comes off the top, okay? If you've ever watched Shark Tank, what's the one thing that Mr. Wonderful always is looking for? He's looking for that royalty deal. He wants the money off the top. Why? Because he knows he's going to get paid every time, and it doesn't matter if they make any money or not. That's the win. If you want to be on the windfall cash is in a business, you want revenue share side, not on the after taxes, or not after taxes, but the, after profit, after profit is not where you want to be. If that's, if you're going to be able to do a deal, you want to do a deal on the revenue share side. So looking at this schedule. So if you bring in one person, let's say you go tell one friend and they come on board and they were a capping agent, which I would just say, using that same example from earlier, if you're closing 8 deals a year, 8 deals, I would be looking for agents that are closing 8 deals a year at $10,000. That's $80,000. That's a full capping agent. So I wouldn't be trying to bring on a bunch of agents that weren't doing at least that. And I'm sure that if you're running around with turkeys, you're never going to fly with the eagles. So, that's one of the things I believe as well. So go tell your friends that are successful about this company. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get excited and want to come on board with you. But a full capping agent just means that, they're paying in their $16,000 and you can earn up to $2,800 of that. If they don't cap, let's say you brought on somebody that doesn't, they only paid in $8,000 towards their cap. They didn't do, the $80,000 in gross commission. That doesn't mean you don't get paid. You would just make half that. You would make $1,400, up to $1,400 on the transactions as they close. The cool thing about this is every month on the 22nd, that money's going to drop into your bank account. So as you start telling your friends and they start closing deals, you're going to start getting revenue share on people. You're not even going to really even know where it's coming from sometimes, and it's even hard to calculate. Even though you get a list of every deal that they close, what you're getting paid on, and you'll be able to see all of that. But it's just amazing what happens is you just tell a handful of people about that. You're going to get paid some revenue share. This is a passive income opportunity. One of the biggest things that I've ever seen in my life. I've never experienced passive income like this before. I've always had to put up millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to get any type of return on that investment. And in this company, they built, they're just rewarding the agents that help them grow the company. Simple as that. They don't have franchises. They don't have regional franchisees that are responsible for going and getting a franchise in this market, in this market, in this market. They don't have those franchisees out there trying to recruit agents and have to report back, hey, we need 30 people to start this one franchise. Okay, now let's go get an office. That's how most companies operate. That's how most franchises operate. This company is saying, hey, listen, we know who butters the bread here. The agents are who brings us the clients. The agents are the ones that are influencers in the marketplace. The agents are the ones that are doing the deals. The agents should be getting all the commissions. Let's reward those agents that go help us tell people about the company, and let's reward them with giving them revenue share for the people that they bring on board. And that's really how this program works. The second level, let's say, for instance, you told 5 people, and this maybe this happens in the first 6 months. Maybe you do it over the next 5 years. It doesn't matter. It could be whatever your plan is. But how I look at it is like this. There's so many houses listing appointments that you're going to go on to get how many ever listings you need to get to sell how many ever houses you want to sell. And there's so many buyers that you're going to have to sign up on a buyer brokerage and go show property to write a contract to hit the numbers you want to hit on the buy side. The thing that you're going to add to your business model that didn't exist before is you're going to add the number of people you're going to introduce to EXP and tell them about this great company, whether you're doing it because you're trying to hit your recruiting number or your agent attraction number, or you're doing it because you genuinely are just ecstatic about the company. It's still a part of your business model. You want to have a goal around it and you want to track it. If you get to 5 in the first 6 months, that's not that big of, that's not a lot of people. Okay. A lot of people still don't know about EXP. When somebody says, hey, have you ever heard of EXP? They're like, no, what's EXP? Say, I got to show you something. Watch this video. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to be able to sleep tonight. That's what I tell everybody that watch this. If you're going to watch this video, I'll tell you, you're not going to be able to sleep tonight. If you see opportunity the way I do, and you see, if you've been in the business very long and you look at all the opportunity that's out there, there's not much opportunity. You can only sell more houses just to wake up and sell more houses. This is a different opportunity for you. This is an opportunity for you to create some leverage and create some passive income where you're not having to do anything other than tell someone about the company, help them, help make sure they're successful and they're onboarded properly and they're happy, and they're now part of your revenue share group, and this thing can explode. I'm not going to get into the numbers. The numbers get, to be quite honest, they get obnoxious how much opportunity there is here. Big numbers can happen. I'm not going to say it's going to happen for everybody, but if you just do a little bit of it, and I think that we would all buy in that you could just recruit maybe 6 people in the next year. Okay. Let's say those 6 people get 1 person. So now you've unlocked level 2. Those first 6 people, if they're all capping agents, you're going to be bringing in, do the math, whatever it comes up to. Was it 6 times 2,800? So you're talking 12, 6, 48, 12, 40, 18,000, whatever it is. So you're going to have, that much would be coming into you off of your first level. On your second level, you get $3,200 for each, up to $3,200 for each agent that caps. So if all of your first 6 agents all brought 1 person, that would be, I believe that comes up to $19,800 total. If I do the math right, I'm backing up in my mind because I didn't write that down. But I want to say that pays it's $16,800 is what it comes down to. If you get 6 people who get 1, okay? So on your first 2 levels, if you added all that up, that basically means that you're paying no cap into the company. So that's like a break-even point. If you brought 6 people that told 1 person, boom, you're at $16,800, and you're at break-even, for instance. So as you continue to go down the line here, and this is how bad bricks and mortar are, because I don't know if y'all can see the sweat. See the sweat right here? They can't even afford to keep the air conditioner on up here. I'm sweating up here because they can't afford to pay the bills around here. So this is why we have a cloud-based real estate brokerage. Just kidding. But they really do need to turn the air conditioner on up here. So, all right. So, again, I'm not going to get into more and more levels. This can get very exciting. We have what we call a 10 by 10 goal, where we're going to try to help you get to 10. We'll show you exactly how to get to 10. And then if you want to, participate and do that, we're going to help you show them how to get to 10. If you do that and you do the math on that, if they were all capping agents, it ends up having 100 people on your second line. If you got 10, who got 10, that ends up being $348,000, $349,000 in passive income that you could create just by getting 10 people and helping them get 10. So a very big opportunity for those of you who know people or are happy to go tell people about this great company. You're going to really love that. So international collaboration, interact and learn from other top professionals in the company. You can build teams across states and provinces with a nationwide cap. So if you're one of those that's wanting to build a team, or you have multiple teams across the country, this is a perfect business model for you, because now you can do it without all that additional overhead, without all the additional overhead offices, being able to manage that all from one nationwide cap, all built into the system of EXP, where you can see everything that's going on in the business. It makes everything super seamless. You can participate in the live masterminds that happen every week. You can coaching sessions and all kinds of things that happen in the cloud. You get to benefit from being a part of, obviously, a huge referral network, some of the top agents in the country, and sharing the best practices from some of the top agents in the world. And again, you've probably heard a ton of the buzz, I'm sure. Amazon, Real Trends is calling us the Amazon of real estate. Market Watch is, EXP Realty accelerates its already significant growth throughout North America. Inman, team recruitment drives EXP's strong agent growth in Q3. I mean, these are companies that are talking about EXP, and they're talking really good about this company and what it's trying to do and what we're trying to do to help agents with their real estate businesses. And again, just want to cover the fee structure. It's very simple and straightforward. There are no desk fees. There are no royalty fees. There are no franchise fees. It's real simple and straightforward. It's an 80-20 split until you get to $16,000. After that, you get 100% of the commission for the rest of your anniversary year. And then on that anniversary date, the day you join, the next year, you're going to start that cap over. The standard costs are fairly straightforward as well. You pay $99 to join EXP. That pays for your first month technology fee. And then every month after that is $50 a month. There's one $420 a year EXP university fee that is taken out of your first closing. That also triggers your first stock award. And then from transactionally, there's a $20 broker review fee on every file, and a $30 E&O, $40 per transaction in California. But that caps, both of those all cap at $500. Okay, so the broker review fee does not cap, but the E&O does cap at $500. So that's pretty much the standard cost. So if you want to become an agent owner, the way to do that is you can go right now to the person that sent you this video, which is what I would recommend, is go back to the person that sent you this, the person that introduced you to EXP, the person that's been most influential and engaged with you in this process of joining EXP, and tell them, hey, I watched the video. I'm really excited. I have questions. They'll get you on the phone, and they'll either answer those questions, or they'll get you on the phone with someone who can answer those questions, maybe even one of us, me. I'm happy to get on a call and answer any of your questions as well. Or if you're ready to join, or when you're ready to join, go to join.exprealty.com and you can join the company right there. You'll actually fill out an application. You'll be going through a vetting process where they'll do a little bit of research on you. You can do some more research on the company, and you'll ultimately get an independent contract agreement that you would sign, and that's when you actually move your license over. So I would say starting that process sooner rather than later is the right move, because there is a little bit of a wait time in joining the company. They've, one of the biggest bottlenecks you can imagine, and the fastest growing real estate company in the country, is probably in the onboarding process. And so there is a little bit of wait time. It's not anything bad. It's not going to, you wouldn't notice it probably most likely, but for those of us who are always excited about getting people on board, we notice it. So, but yeah, have the person that's sponsoring you help you through that process, help walk you through that process, make sure you have all the information that you need and that you understand the process, so that, you don't have any expectations to get let down. And again, it's better to ask questions than to not ask questions. So